Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. One mischievous architect said to me, Jennifer, what are you doing here? You're not an architect. But I think they said architecture is synonymous with designs. And I said to myself, I have designed so much mischief in my life that I must be a real good architect. That's for you, Scott. Honorable Minister, a favorite partner of Habitat, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to share with you just very briefly a little bit about Habitat for Humanity. We were represented on every continent of the world. People associate Habitat with housing. My job tonight is to add to that notion. We are more than houses. The rate at which disasters are taking down houses, Habitat had to do an introspection and a redesign of our strategic plan globally. What we have decided is that we've got to change the way we look at things, change the way we design houses and the built environment. So our contribution globally has taken us in the realm of disaster resiliency and advocacy. In 2020, we signed an MOU with TTIA. And so I'm here today to challenge you not only to play golf, you need to make sure you play golf in April, and to bring a number of other persons because we're going to do a lot of good out of that tournament. But it's a little bit more than that. I'm challenging you today to do what I said when Ronald was president in 2020. All of our architects need to come on board with Habitat for Humanity and other civil society organizations for one purpose. Our first speaker spoke about it, making sure that we address community resiliency and transformation from a design perspective, first of all. So when we're designing our houses and putting the plans down, we must take into consideration the environment and our advice, especially to vulnerable and marginalized populations. Who's responsible for all the flooding? The people cutting down the hills. But who are designing for those people? Perhaps nobody. Out of desperation, desperate people do desperate things. And they put up 2 sticks and something called a roof and they say, this is home for me. Should we deny them that? What we need to do is to change the way we look at our communities and look at our vulnerable population in need of housing. We can't just stand by and say, Port of Spain is flooding. We are affected when Port of Spain floods. The productivity level goes down. All kinds of things happen. So we're responsible indirectly. So what should we do? We need to come together and think differently when we design. We need to intentionally put a number of things in place, and that's why you need Habitat for Humanity. I think I should have about 50 seconds more. Habitat has been contributing. I'm zeroing in on Trinidad and Tobago. Over the last year alone, we would have trained about 1,500 artisans in our communities, training them about blueprint reading. So is Habitat into that now? Yes, we are. And that's why you need to join us to make sure that you do part of that training. Perhaps 70 architects tonight contribute 3 hours per year. Can you imagine what that will do for us? 3 hours per year. I'm sure you can do that as you give back to society. It means that when we train our builders that tell themselves that they are masons and carpenters, and we train them properly, they will go out there and design better. And roofs will not be blown up, and houses will not go up on hillsides without retaining walls, and structures will be properly anchored from the roof all the way to foundation. We are responsible for getting that information out there. And so you need to team up with Habitat to make sure we do this better. So you make your millions. It's a Robin Hood scenario. You make your millions, go right ahead with the rich, and let's divest it to the poor by giving proper advice and consultation. So please get on board with Habitat for Humanity, from construction training to building houses to restoration of houses and refurbishing houses we're in the whole spectrum, including advocacy and awareness. You want to hear more? Come to the golf tournament and we'll have lots more in store. Thank you so much.